Hi, welcome to section 5 of our Marketing and Sales Bootcamp. Now we are really talking about marketing. And I bet you're wondering, why did we have to talk about 4 other topics before we got to the really good stuff? Well, the reason we do it this way is that marketing is a lot more than just marketing tactics. It really is understanding the consumer, understanding the competition and the industry, and then determining your solution and how you will then brand your solution. Once you've done all of those 4 things, then we get to the marketing plan. So here we are. So the important question to ask yourself is, what marketing tactics should I use? One of the ways to think about marketing is to think about it as a toolbox. So there are a lot of tools in that toolbox, but you need to determine which are the right tools for what you need to build. And similarly with marketing, what is your marketing goal or your objective? Once you know that, then you can find the best marketing tools to help you achieve that goal. So here's a way that we can look at this. We define our goal, our objective, our strategy, and our tactic, or GOST is the acronym I've created for this. So let's say your goal is to increase brand awareness. You want people to know that you're actually open and ready for business. Your objective may be to get 5% more web visits. Your strategy is going to be how you achieve that objective, and you will achieve it by driving more traffic to your website. And some of the tactics, some of the tools that will best help you achieve this goal and objective could be search engine optimization, search engine marketing, or social media or PR. Let's say now your goal is to drive sales. Well, the objective to achieve your sales could be a 3% product trial. Let's imagine once again our hair care brand, and they want to increase sales of their hair care product. In order to do this, they could distribute more product samples. That's their strategy. That's how they will achieve their objective. And some of the tools or tactics to help them could be through blogger outreach or Facebook ads, or having a street team that actually distributes samples on the street. And the last example is brand loyalty. So if you want people to buy more often from you, maybe you want a 10% repeat purchase, you may have to have more customer outreach and service. And how do you do that? Well, some tactics could be more effective and more frequent email, maybe offering a contest, or even having a loyalty program, buy 6, get 1 free, for example. So here's an example of 12 marketing tactics that I outlined for my hair care brand client. Now, interestingly, 7 of these 12 tactics are digital, and we'll talk more about digital marketing in that section of this bootcamp. But I like doing a one-page cheat sheet, as I call it, because in my experience, this really helps my clients see everything at a glance. It's a 360-degree view of what they can possibly do in order to achieve their marketing goals. But before you decide what to do, you have to be really ruthless and ask yourself, what are my marketing priorities? What can I do now? And what should I do later? And this is going to come down to 3 things: how much time you have, how much money you have, and how much effort you can put in. So going back to my hair care brand, here's how I took those 12 tactics and I laid them out into a strategic framework. And all this is, it's a way for us to measure each of those 12 tactics, measure them in terms of how much they cost, how long it'll take to develop them, and how much of a priority is it. So for example, for the hair care brand, we had 3 goals or objectives in the very beginning. The first objective is to generate brand awareness, number 1. We have to drive new visitors to the website. Once they know about the brand, they'll go to the e-commerce website. And then our second goal is number 2, we have to incent trial. So encourage them to try the brand for the first time. And thirdly, and most importantly, after they try the brand, we want to drive sales and repeat purchase. So this is ongoing selling after the initial sale. Some of the marketing tactics are better for particular goals. So for example, if you want to generate brand awareness, I've identified 5 different tactics: social media, Facebook ads, paid search or social engine marketing, SEM, trade shows, and community outreach. Those 5 tactics are the best tools for achieving goal number 1, generating brand awareness. Now, they're not all equal though in their importance or their priority. And to make it even easier, I've used the common coloring scheme of green, yellow, red. And if you drive or you know stoplights, you know what that means. Green means go, yellow means slow down, or in this case, maybe look at it more closely. And red definitely means no, you cannot go. This is not a viable marketing option for you based on our priorities. So, for example, social media under generating brand awareness is green. This means that it's something the client should really consider doing. It's not up for debate, it's a mandatory. Moreover, cost-wise, it's a fairly low to medium investment. Time-wise, it's not hard to create a social media campaign and have ongoing presence. After all, your clients are online 24/7, 365, so you can do the same thing. But it is an ongoing initiative. It's not a one-time deal. Importantly, it's an A priority because, as I mentioned, your customers, your clients, they're always online. Research and stats prove that if you want to target women who care about beauty and their hair, they will be sharing this information on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest. So if that's where they are, guess what? That's where your brand also needs to be. Other green tactics are website and blog. This is under number 2 in scent trial, and sampling, and beauty editors and blogger outreach. So once again, those 3 tactics are better designed to create trial. Your website is critical. If you are selling online, if you are an e-commerce website, your website is everything. It's absolutely crucial. So you have to make that an A priority. Similarly, having samples of your product is also really important. You may have seen those street teams of college kids every summer handing out free samples. They do that for a reason. Once they get you hooked on something via the free sample, you're much more likely to keep on buying it after the fact. So, especially with something like a hair care product, it's probably easier to give away a sample that costs you maybe $1, as opposed to an entire bottle that's going to cost you maybe $3 or $4. Get them hooked, and then you can upsell them to the actual sell and repeat purchase. So once again, these are some ways you can prioritize your marketing tactics. I do encourage you to also research for your particular service or product. You might have different things on the list, and that's totally fine. But this gives you basically a sheet in order to work from, a workbook to work from, to understand what is the best way to achieve my marketing objectives, what are the best tactics, and then which tactic is a priority. Is it an A, B, or C priority? So going back to my hair care client, what they decided to prioritize was their website. And just as a disclaimer, I didn't work in any of the branding or the new website. I only worked on the strategy. But I thought it was important to show you what the website was like before and what it was like after. And I think there's a definite improvement. I'm sure you would agree that they have a much fresher, more modern and welcoming brand website. And given that they're an e-commerce website, they really had to go the entire way. But I also would question whether they went far enough. I do think their next priority needs to be updating their packaging, because that's a really big opportunity. And if you think about the consumer, are they likely to trust a brand that they're not visually attracted to? If your packaging doesn't look visually attractive, how do I know what's inside will make me look attractive? So that's another way to think about your branding and how everything has to be considered before you actually move into your marketing phase. But let's show an example for services. Instead of having a hair care product line, maybe you are a hair salon. And we showed the example earlier on about a kid's hair salon. Maybe you've decided you're going to focus on kids and have a really funky, innovative sign that people would notice for your storefront. Maybe on the inside of your store, you also have some really innovative chairs for kids. So, kids who might be really traumatized going for their first haircut or going for any haircut, after all, you're sitting in a seat with wet hair dripping down your neck and someone's coming at you with a pair of scissors. It's all a bit overwhelming if you're a little boy or girl. Maybe if you make it feel more like an experience or an amusement park, maybe that entire experience will be very unique. What's your overall decor going to look like? So again, if you think about how you have to define what your priorities are, if you're opening a hair salon for kids, I think a priority has to be how you design both the inside and the outside of your salon. You definitely don't want to pare back here because this you're appealing to an audience that's going to want to feel safe and secure and have a really fun experience. And if the kids want it, well, I know I have two kids. If my kids want something, I'm more likely to say yes because they're bugging me for it, as opposed to just appealing to me alone. It's they call that the nag factor. And you might decide even further that you can have different services or unique offerings to your target market. So maybe after school during the weekday, when your salon is pretty quiet, maybe you want to offer something different than other hair salons. Maybe you want to offer parties for young girls. And this may sound like a crazy idea, but I've actually seen this happening at other spas, believe it or not. I was surprised myself. But my daughter was invited to a mini spa and pedicure party. And that was for a 7-year-old's birthday. So, believe it or not, these things are happening. And it might be a good way to use the downtime you have at your hair salon to actually drive more business and higher paying business as well. And this is another example of the princess party happening at the hair salon. So, once again, we go back to what are your marketing priorities and objectives, and how do you prioritize what you want to do? And when you think about it from that standpoint, it's much easier to actually create a solid plan and focus on the most important things first, knowing that you can have your B and your C priorities done in the next 6 or 12 months or even longer. Now let's complete section 5 of our one-page marketing and sales plan. So going back to the goals, what is your marketing goal? What is your marketing objective? And then what is a strategy that will help you achieve the marketing objective? What are your short-term marketing priorities? What are the tactics you will use to help you achieve your marketing goals? And then what are the priority digital marketing tools? And in order to fill out this section, I encourage you to also watch the digital marketing section. This will help you better understand the digital marketing tools that are available to you and determine which ones are best suited to your needs.